Route 32 in Ohio looks like any other quiet American highway. Long stretches of asphalt, empty fields on both sides, and the kind of darkness at night that feels deeper than it should be. I was driving it alone for work at that night. No traffic, no music, just the hum of tires and the faint glow of road signs disappearing behind me. That's when I saw him, standing at the edge of the road. A man, completely still, wearing a dark coat that didn't move with the wind. At first I thought maybe he needed help. That's what you think on empty highways. You assume the best because the worst feels too unreal. But as I got closer, something felt wrong. He wasn't facing the road like a normal person waiting for a ride. He was facing directly toward me, and he was smiling. Not a casual smile, not a polite one, a wide, fixed, unnatural smile that didn't change even as my headlights hit him directly. I slowed down without thinking, and the moment I did, he lifted his hand and waved, slowly, like he had been waiting for me specifically. There were no cars behind me, no reason for him to be there, no house, no gas station, nothing for miles, just empty Ohio darkness. I kept driving, but in my rearview mirror I saw something that made my grip tighten on the wheel. He was still there, and now he was walking, not toward the road, not away from it, just following my car along the edge of Route 32, still smiling. I tried to convince myself it was nothing, a hitchhiker, a drunk, some prankster standing too close to the road in the middle of nowhere. But the longer I kept driving, the less human it felt, because he didn't fall behind. He kept pace, always just far enough to stay in my headlights, never close, never farther, like he was tied to my speed. I pressed the accelerator slightly. He matched it. I slowed down, so did he, and that smile never changed. It wasn't just that it was wide, it was wrong in a way I can't explain properly even now. Like his face had been stretched into an expression it wasn't designed to hold, and then frozen there permanently. I stopped listening to logic at some point and just focused on the road ahead, trying to convince myself I would lose him if I reached a turn or a town. But Route 32 doesn't give you that. No intersections, no exits for miles, just straight road and empty fields that swallow light. That's when I noticed something worse in the mirror. He wasn't walking like a normal person anymore. His steps didn't match human rhythm. Sometimes he would glide forward too smoothly, then jerk slightly, like something inside him was correcting its movement after every step. And still, that smile, always facing me, like he knew I was watching, like he wanted me to keep watching. Then my radio crackled, once, just a burst of static. I didn't even have it on, and in that static I swear I heard something like breathing. Right before the signal cut completely, I glanced back for half a second, and he was closer. Not by much, but enough to make my stomach drop, because I was driving at speed, and he should not have been able to get closer. At some point I stopped checking the mirror because it didn't matter anymore. He was there. That was the only truth my mind could hold on to without breaking. Route 32 felt longer than it should have. The road didn't change, but it started to feel like it was stretching, like the same stretch of asphalt was repeating itself, forcing me to stay in the same nightmare corridor. And then I saw something that made everything inside me go cold. A road sign ahead, not a town, not an exit, just a warning sign that looked slightly bent, like it had been hit before and never fixed properly. but under my headlights, I could see something written on it in faded paint. Nothing official, no standard marking, just words scratched like a warning from someone who didn't want to be there anymore. And at that exact moment, my engine noise changed. Not louder, not weaker, just wrong. Like something else was briefly imitating my car. I pressed harder on the accelerator. The road ahead stayed empty, but in the reflection of my side mirror, I saw him clearly now. No longer behind, no longer at the edge. He was on the road, walking directly in the center of Route 32, perfectly aligned with my car, still smiling, but now he wasn't trying to keep up anymore. He was waiting. And as I looked forward again, I realized something that made my hands go numb on the wheel. There was no space left between us. Not distance, not safety, just a straight line between me and the man who never stopped smiling.